Welcome to Irons United, another transfer window special. My name is Stel. Well, we've certainly had a lot of rumour and movement in the transfer window, haven't we, so far this pre-season. Four players in. We had the confirmation of Jack Wilshere in yesterday. Welcome, Jack. It's a great signing for us. Going to add an awful lot to our midfield there. Still a few signings to come, also we're told. We're still waiting on Balbuena to come in from the Brazilian league. We're still waiting on Yarmolenko. Apparently he was about to have a medical. And we're still waiting on the signing of Anderson from Lazio. That's been ongoing for quite some time now, and we're kind of waiting to see if that really is going to materialise or not. But this transfer special is about the possible players that might be leaving West Ham, given that we could have up to about 7 odd signings coming in. Let's start with the goalkeeping situation. We've got Fabianski in. Does that mean that Adrian is going to be happy to potentially play second fiddle again this season as he did last season when Joe Hart was on loan to West Ham? I think the answer is likely to be no. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Adrian, to see whether he will want to stay to fight for the shirt. I don't think anyone would blame him if he decided to leave to try and get first team football elsewhere. But I know I will, and I'm sure an awful lot of West Ham fans will be quite sad to see him go. In defence, well, we've got Fredericks, which means that the possibility of Byron staying at West Ham could be quite slim. But there was talk about not necessarily selling Byron, but maybe putting him out on loan, which he's still a young player. That might not be a bad thing for him. Get him out on loan, get some playing time in there, try and get him to overcome his injuries, and who knows. He could come back in a season's time. Zabaleta would have finished his career at West Ham by then, so Byron could easily come back as fighting for his place as a right back with Fredericks. We heard today that Reece Burke has gone to Hull, and I'm sure all West Ham fans would wish Reece Burke well. He was out on loan for quite a number of seasons. Didn't quite make the breakthrough at West Ham, but a good lad, and I'm sure we would love to see him back in the Premiership successfully with Hull at some stage in the future. Reece Oxford, another youngster with a lot of hope. We hear about his attitude, we hear about his temperament, and whether he really does want to make it at West Ham or whether he thinks he's bigger than the team. He was out on loan last season in Germany. There's talk about putting him out on loan again this season, but it looks like Pellegrini will give him a good look over during the pre-season to see exactly what he wants to do with Reece Oxford. And now two mainstays, our two stalwarts, Reed and Ogbonna. With all these defenders coming in, will one or both of them potentially leave? There's not been a lot of rumour about Ogbonna going anywhere, but there has been rumour about Reed. If the price is right, West Ham might be willing to listen to offers to sell him. We're mixed emotions over that one. Ogbonna himself, he's a bit like Marmite. Some fans love him, some fans are not for him, and I'm sure some fans would like to see him go. With Reed, I think his injuries have affected him the last couple of seasons, so it'll be interesting to see if Reed stays or not. And then of course that leaves Declan Rice. Well, it sounds like Pellegrini is going to want to try him out in holding midfield role, or that's the rumour again. If he does, I'm sure he'll be really successful at that role, just as he has been for his national team. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Midfield, well, Wilshere, Anderson, Yarmolenko, quite a few players in or coming in. And there's talk about, again, if the price is right, Chiati could be sold. So it's going to be interesting to see if any offers come in for Chiati. I believe we've knocked back 2 offers for Obiang, and it sounds as if we want to keep him. I rate Obiang. I think he's underrated, and I think under proper guidance he would be an excellent holding midfielder for West Ham. Josh Cullen, a player that has been on the there or thereabouts, but it's quite possible, like Reece Burke, we could see Cullen possibly leaving or maybe going back out on loan again this season. Snodgrass. Well, I'm one of the very few West Ham fans that doesn't really rate Snodgrass. I think he's proven to found his level in the Championship with Aston Villa last season. I think that's where he'll end up, and I don't think we'll hold on to him. Antonio, another player. Well, if we are going to get Anderson and if we are going to get Yarmolenko in, they're both wide players, and I think potentially Antonio will find it difficult to stay at West Ham. And there is talk that Dortmund are looking to sign Zaha, but they will have to sell Yarmolenko to do that. And if we sign Yarmolenko, we will sell Antonio to Palace. So a little bit of a merry-go-round going there. I think the only area that we have no idea about at the moment is the forward line. Now, Yarmolenko can play as a forward. We know Arnie has been used as a forward. We've still got Hernandez there. So what about Carroll? I think again the rumour is if the price is right, Andy Carroll will go. We've not really seen the best of Andy Carroll. We've seen snapshots of him in all the seasons that he's been there. We've all wished for him to have a full season or at least a long season, and it's just not happened. And another player that could possibly either go out on loan or actually be sold is Hugh Gill. Not had a chance, not being given a chance, and I think with the players coming in, probably will never be given a chance in a West Ham shirt. So that's it. That's a brief roundup of the potential players who might be leaving West Ham. Do the usual, comments please, sign up, subscribe to our channel, and come on you irons.